I went from having $0 of profit made from trading to like a 14K month my first payout. All my trades are hitting take profit. How is this happening, right? Like I think my best month ever working at a gym, even though it was a commission-based job, was like 2.5K. That's awful in my opinion, at least.
I remember that testimonial that you gave out, and it was of this M4 comp.
Anyone who's trying to become profitable, I tell this to like everybody. All you need to do is figure out what you're...
What is going on, guys? Today we are here with Bada. Bada was previously one of our students, and he's going to be talking about his journey to profitability with us today. And you can tap into his mind, see really what it's like to go from zero to absolutely being a baller. And yeah, he was once in the same position as you guys, so this should be a fun little interview slash podcast. And let's get into this. So, say what's up, Bada.
What's going on, boys? How we doing?
Good. All right, well, tell us a little bit about yourself, when you figured out about trading, how you started.
Yeah, so I've been trading for about 2.5 years, just about to hit my 12th month of consistent profitability. So first year and a half, pretty much just trying to learn on my own. Obviously, did what everybody else did. Watched the TJR bootcamp, all that stuff. Was trading in school, trading at my job, trading at the front desk. All that stuff, just not trying to go to school, not trying to go to college, definitely not trying to work a 9 to 5. So just found all that stuff on social media. Everyone sees the online money stuff, right? And I just chose trading. So it took me about 12 to 14 months to actually get my first payout. I got my first payout, obviously, after being in PB. And then, now here we are 11 months later, July 10th will be my 12th month of actually being profitable for a full year. So it's just been ripping, man. So
yeah, so you kind of went through the typical cycle of just scavenging everywhere online, trying to figure out what works best, and inevitably you ended up joining our group. So what made you make that decision? Why'd you decide, fuck it, let me join PB Trading's group?
I mean, well, first I was in TJR's whatever group, Discord, whatever you want to say, paying the $250 a month when he had it open to everybody, and I used to actually trade like options, but was looking at the futures chart, and I had no idea what I was doing. Still didn't know what I was doing, actually, as far as like execution wise when I joined your guys' stuff. But I saw it was futures trading, and obviously the difference between options and futures, right? Like you buy it and then it's like it goes up, but you're still down. And I was like, what the fuck is this? I don't really know how to do it. Sorry for cussing. I joined the Discord, and I was like, okay, cool. Like these guys know what they're doing, and obviously you guys have a good community as well. A lot of people who know what they're doing in there as well. So not only just learn from you guys, but also just a great, supportive community and things like that too. So just was like, what, let's take the chance, and it's time to really turn it around, right? So
Yeah, that's sick, bro. I remember seeing that testimonial that you gave out, and it was of this M4 comp. We'll show a picture of it now. But tell us about how you kind of got to that point of being able to buy your dream car, bro.
I mean, yeah. So my first ever payout ever in trading was July 10th. 2024, and I was a $14,000 payout from one MyFundedFutures account, 100K expert account, and I think that month it was the 14K was my first payout. Second month I made 6K. Third month I made 0, I think, actually, and then fourth month I don't even remember. I think it was in October. All I know is October was the month that I bought my car. So if you go from July to October, it's like a few months, maybe like 4 or 5 months, and in October I actually ended up doing 52K only off of props. So I was like, you know what? I'm tired of driving my old car. I can send you guys a picture of my old car. It was like a little buggy, and I was like, you know what, bro? Like I'm really gonna make this shit work. I'm gonna lock in, buy my car. It's gonna put a little fire under me, and yeah, bro. I dropped the down payment on it. Did a little 15 band down payment, and it's history,
sometimes
bro.
people don't realize that like making a financial decision like that is also sort of like a commitment to yourself to keep working hard, and it keeps you driven, and it keeps you pushing. So I did the same thing. I mean, when I had my best month of trading, I fully just put all my money into the vintage Porsche. But and I mean that, like you said, it lit a fire under me, and it just made me work 50 times harder. So that's awesome. Let's go back to, you were saying you were working a job, you were in school, you were doing all these things, while trying to get to the point where you're at now. How was that? How did you manage, work, school, and trading?
here's the reality, right? Like, so many people like to make the excuse that they don't have time. They want to make the excuse that it's hard and whatever, this and that. But like, those are the people who are still going to be paying for the Discords in 5 years. You know what I mean? You can pay for as many pieces of info on the internet as you want, but if you're not going to actually take the step to make it work, then that's going to be on you 100%. I had time to go work a full-time job, 45 hours a week, be in school full-time from 8 a.m. to 3 p.m., hit the gym for an hour a day, and still get like at least 6 hours of sleep, right? And still function as a human being while learning trading. So there's no excuse, man. I mean, it's difficult. It sucks. I don't want to be watching YouTube videos on my break at work on how to learn how to trade, but I also don't want to be working that same job for 25 years, getting the same 2K paycheck that I used to get from work, right? Like, I think my best month ever working at, the gym, even though it was a commission-based job, was like 2.5K. Like, that's awful in my opinion, at least, right? And that's not very much money for, somebody who wants to have these goals and these dreams of like having nice cars, nice things. And yeah, I mean, obviously that's not all of it, right? But it's going to suck. It's going to be hard. You're going to have the times where you're at work or at school or doing something that feels uncomfortable in the moment, but ends up, paying you out 10x, 100x, 1000x over time. So yeah, it was hard, but you got to push through it.
Yeah. And I think doing stuff like that also makes you realize, like, this is not what I want to be doing. I want to be, I want locational freedom. I want time freedom. I want financial freedom. So sometimes you got to go through all those motions to be like, dude, I need to make this work. Like, I need trading to work. I was doing the same thing as you. I was taking fucking 4 or 5 classes each semester while trading. Then I worked a corporate job that was paying me like $4K a month, and I was still trading. I would show up to the office like an hour and a half before just to get all like the tasks I had for the day done. And then I would just lock myself in like those little quiet booths and trade for an hour and a half.
Yeah. And that's such a common misconception. Everyone thinks you need to be trading like all day to be making money. Like, it's really only 2 hours out of your day. And then of course you can have like that routine at night where if you want to back test, you want to journal your trades, sure. But the raw reality is, bro, after you understand your strategy, like, it's only 2 hours out of your day. That's all you need. And you can manage school, you can manage everything else. Dude, I had a fucking job I was working at, Carrot Express, right? And I mean, that would take up a lot of my time, but not the times where I needed to be trading. And that's like the most crucial times. Yeah,
like, you'll realize, bro, with people who genuinely want it, like, they don't make excuses as to why they can't get there. I mean, even at one point where I genuinely felt like I didn't have time, I forced myself to make time. Like, I remember like freshman year of college, dude, I was studying finance, and I decided to do like a minor in data science. So I was taking an insane amount of classes. I literally had no fucking time during the day to trade. What did I do? I started going, I started going to sleep, bro, every night at 9 p.m., setting an alarm for 2 a.m. and trading London 2 to 4 a.m. And then back to sleep, wake up, school, whatever. Dude, like, it was intense, but I wanted it. You know what I mean? Like, I wanted it so bad, and I did everything I could to just get better every single day. And that's really what it takes, bro. You just got to be fully committed no matter what the circumstances are.
Yeah.
Right. And it's like the people that you see who actually are successful and have long-term success, like whenever you ask them how they did it or about the first steps of that process, they're never telling you, oh, I didn't have that much time, but whatever, I still tried for like 30 minutes a day or whatever. No, they're like telling you that they put in the time and the effort that was needed, even when it sucked and even when they didn't have that time, right? Like, that's the reality, bro. And that's going to be a common characteristic for every single successful person. So
I feel like for me, a really common question I get asked is like, what was your breakthrough moment for trading? Right. And I wonder, because for me personally, I feel like I didn't have like that one moment where I felt like, oh, now I'm profitable. Right. Or there was kind of a flip in my switch this one day where I remember looking through all my accounts I'd blown. And you can just like scroll through, you scroll through your emails, you're just like funded, blown, funded, blown, funded. I'm like, holy shit. So much money blown on fundeds. That for me was like a breakthrough moment. Did you have any of those moments where you were like, oh, like, I need to fucking make a change in my life, like, now?
Bro, to be honest, and like, this is gonna suck now because obviously it hasn't like pulled through, but it's like literally like at the time of like learning trading, like I still had a girlfriend, right? So I was like, okay, cool. Like because for me, my main goal with trading and just like running my own business and all of this like online money stuff, right? It's about like providing. That's like my sole like driver is providing for the people that I care about, right? So like, let's say that's my mom, my dad, my sister, at the time it was my girlfriend, right? And I remember I used to spend like my last like $10-15 on like food for her, and obviously she didn't know it was my last $10-15, but I was like, oh yeah, I'm not hungry. But it's like, damn bro, like I'm really like almost an 18-year-old and I have like $10 to my name. Like that's embarrassing, dude. Like that's how I feel about it, right? Like, so I'm like, okay, cool, I need to find a way to either make this work, or I can go and find another skill that's going to actually make me that money, right? So like for me, the mentality switch of like being like, okay, cool, I need to make this work was that. But in trading specifically, I was like, I literally, and I don't want to give shout outs to anyone, especially Dodgy, because IFEGs were literally the reason that turned, like, that's the thing that turned me profitable, bro. I had no idea what an IFEG was before I joined PB Trading. And obviously Dodgy likes to take credit, but I'm not giving him any credit, bro. That was all you guys. I didn't know what an IFEG was, bro, and I learned what that was. I fixed my entry model, and that was literally it. I knew about liquidity, I knew every other confluence, but the entry model was messing me up and like messing up my risk to reward, all that stuff. So I was like, okay, cool. Now I have an entry model. Now all my trades are hitting take profit. How is this happening, right? Like now I know how to enter trades the right way, and it was literally that simple to where I went from having $0 of profit made from trading to like a 14K month my first payout. You know what I mean? Like that's how simple of a change it was for me to actually like flip in my actual trading. So a combination of like, damn, I'm broke, and also just like a systematic change that kind of made it click for me.
Yeah, that's definitely like I think a super pivotal point, because like at least for me, I remember there gets a point in your trading journey where you literally have all the pieces of the puzzle, or like let's put it this way, like you have all the pieces like to build this Lego, but you don't have like the instruction manual, right? Like there's no like genuine like system that you can follow to actually put it together. And then eventually comes a time where like you'll come across a strategy or a model that just clicks with you. Like it makes sense technical, and I guess like logical. So I always tell people this, where it's like the model that we taught you and that Blake and I trade, when I was learning it, not only was I able like to digest like conceptually everything about it really easily, but like I also understood it in a way that's like not even trading related. Like I always tell Blake, I'm like, yeah, bro, like with the whole thing with the conversions, it almost feels like you're handing a fucking ball to like a running back, and once it inverses, he breaks like the defensive line, and at that point order flow flipped and you just have a straight line towards like the end zone. You know what I mean? Like I can formulate it in my head that's not even like trading related. And that's what it takes for a lot of people. They just need to come across a strategy, a system that just makes sense for them and works with their psychology and their day-to-day life and the way they understand like the technicals with trading.
Bro, what would you say is your main problems you're facing, I guess, before joining PB trading? Because for me, I feel like for a lot of traders, bro, it's first not knowing like drawn liquidity, and you're like bouncing between like entry models, or either like the entry model really well, but you don't know like drawn liquidity. And I feel like that's such a common problem. But do you think you already had drawn liquidity down, and then you found our entry model and that's what helped you?
Yeah, honestly, like I think the entry model was like literally that last piece of the puzzle that mattered, right? Like I mean, I had over a year of experience of like watching the charts, right, and looking at different confluences, and I knew what things were, right? It's not like I didn't know what a fair value gap was. It's not like I didn't know what these things were. It's literally just like a concept and a system, like putting it all together, right? Like I knew drawn liquidity, I knew how to like determine my bias, I knew all that stuff, right? And it just took that one little thing, that one little change, right, to actually make that jump to the next level, right? Because if it was, I think, like a overall like conceptual thing where it's like I don't know exactly drawn liquidity and all that stuff, then my first payout probably would have been a lot less. But I think because it was such a big like payout for my first ever payout, I think it literally was just the entry model. You know what I mean? Like that's really all it was. If anything, I think drawn liquidity, like a lot of people overcomplicate it in my opinion. So for me, I think anyone who's trying to become profitable, all you need to do, literally, like I tell this to like everybody, like all you need to do is figure out what your drawn liquidity is and get it to a point to where you can be right about your drawn liquidity like 80% of the time, and then just find an entry that gets you there. You know what I mean? Like make sure it's not too much in a premium, all that kind of stuff. Like drawn liquidity is what makes a good trader, right? And then just the system to get there is just the cherry on top. You know what I mean?
That's the thing, dude. Like you do need every piece of the puzzle though. That like, if you can't really determine a bias but you have drawn liquidity and like entry model down, like it'll work, but not to like that degree. You know what I mean? And if you have the entry system down and the bias down, but you can't determine drawn liquidity, then you're fucked. And you have drawn liquidity and bias, but no entry system, then you're fucked. Once again, like you do need to have it all sort of pieced together. And I think like every one of our students that Blake and I get, so they all have different problems. Like there's been people who understand entry model perfectly, but they cannot get like drawn liquidity or like buys for the life of them. Like they struggle with like the higher time frames and stuff. So, I mean, it's different for everyone, but do you think like the fact that you were just following sort of in like Blake and I's footsteps, or just having, you know, mentorship from Blake and I helped you keep you way more on track than just going all over the internet to find, you know, different things to piece that puzzle together?
Yeah, 100%. And I mean, when it's so silly, like the mindset that so many people have about like mentorship, because honestly, it's like the internet is like so vast that, and like has so much information that like I could go and find any single strategy and make it work that I wanted to. But like what I paid for was not the info. I paid for the system, and I paid for the support and the guidance through the process. Right. So, I mean, that's what I tell everybody. So, having like guidance and having someone to even just like hold you accountable. Right. Like, dude, there was so many times I remember, I don't know if you remember this, but there was so many times in like the live trading when I used to like bitch about like blowing my account. Like this was even after I was profitable, to where I would like have like, you know, everyone has like bad streaks and stuff like that, right? Like where I would blow my account and I'd be like, damn, bro, like this sucks. Like I just blew like five funded accounts, like actual like funded accounts. And it's like Patty would literally be like, yo, bro, like you're being like kind of emotional right now. Like that's kind of stupid, bro. Like stop doing that. Like and it's true, bro. And I say the same thing to like people that I work with now. It's like, bro, you're being so emotional right now. Like, why are you doing that? Like, be a man, bro. Like at the end of the day, that's what it is. Like trade systematically and just make it work, bro. And like having somebody to tell me that, like, is so much different than like if I sit here at my desk alone and like wallow in my sorrows because I'm like so upset, like that I blew my account. Like, bro, go get another one. Go like take a system, like use your model that you know works, and go and pass your account again and just do it again. Like that, having that is 100% important.
I literally remember perfectly. Like you had a pretty good month where you got a decent amount of payouts, and then the next month you were just like crashing out because you were just taking a decent amount of losses. And I remember you just, you know, messaging me and everything. And I was like, bro, you did it once. There's no reason you can do it again. You're just completely in your head now. And I always tell people, it's like when you reach like the summit of a mountain, one time, and then, you know, you fall back down. Now that you try to go back up again, you start trying to take shortcuts and like rushing the process. And it's like, bro, it's the same path that you took the first time. Like you don't have to rush it. If you try to take shortcuts, like you're just going to keep falling back down, and you're going to keep getting, you know, you're fucked by the markets. You'll keep giving away money. So yeah, I mean, obviously you got your second checks soon after that, and everything went well. So
what was that process like? Because for me, that also happened where I got my first payout, and right after I thought I was like hot shit, and I was like not even trading my entry model. I was trading super discretionary, and I thought I knew like everything. And yeah, I don't think I got like another payout for like a couple of months. But I wonder what was the change that you had to make to start trading like a robot like you are now?
I had to humble myself, honestly, like, and that's like really the reality, bro. Like when you make, especially like, and this is like goes for any business, man. Like if I made 52K in October, like, and I felt like I was like hot shit. I was like, damn, bro, like I don't need to talk to, bro. It's like the thing that you see on TikTok, bro, slamming out your day ones, bro, not talking to them anymore. I was like, damn, bro, like I really made 52K. Like I have people that, like my friends stuff. Oh, they work a regular job. I'm like, damn, bro. I'm really him. And then the next month I made $0, and I was like, damn, bro. Like, I'm not actually like that. So I literally just had to like humble myself and take, you know, follow my system again. Same as like what you said, right? Where I built up from July to October to get to that point. And now I'm like going off that path. Like that makes no sense. I knew that it worked. Why would I stray away from it? Right. So it took November of me getting like, you know, shit on, right, to actually flip back into it and be like, you know what, I actually do need to trust my model. I need to actually start taking the system that I was taking before. I need to actually like be disciplined in my trades, take my one trade a day, and like just be like the same thing I did in October. Like literally just be like, okay, cool. You had this really good month. So now just replicate that and replicate those habits. Be the person that you want to be in current time before it even happens. So
yeah, bro, for sure.
We always tell people like you got to surrender your ego 24/7.
Yeah.
It's so easy to build an ego with trading. You have one baller week where you don't take a single losing trade. You're going into the next week thinking that you're literally invincible and that you'll win every single like time you trade, and you'll start like fluffing out your rules a bit, and you know, like kind of just being way more loose with your system, and you get punished. But yeah, so back to like sort of, you know, being part of our group and getting mentored by Blake and I, can you like describe the commitment required on your end, you know, being part of that process? What responsibilities did you have? Like, what did we take care of for you?
I mean, it really is like an everyday thing. As much as people want to make it like, okay, cool, like I started a mentorship and now my job is done. I invested in the process, so it better work, right? It's a day-to-day thing. Like, you need to actually like take it step by step by step and be committed to the process on a daily basis, because I could buy the best mentorship on the planet from the best coach and the best trader and whatever, and then not check in with them, not be consistent, and it's like, okay, cool, like I'm gonna make zero progress. That's the reality, right? So it's really about actually like actively being part of the process, showing up to every single call, you know, actually doing the homework that's given. I remember when you guys used to run the daily backtesting sessions, there used to be like, oh, there's 500 people in live trading, but then the backtesting session is like 40 people. And it's like, okay, cool. Like, and guess who's in the backtesting session? Everyone who's actually profitable. Like, that's who's in the backtesting session, not the people who are just signaling on their Top Step account that they blew 6 other times this week. Like, come on, bro. Like, it's going to take a day by day, like, commitment every single day. So that's what I would say, is just actually like showing up every single day, even when you don't have time and you're at school or you're at work or whatever. And even if you're not able to attend the live, right? Like, going back and watching the recording and making sure that even though you're not able to be there while it's happening, still make sure that you take in the info and, you know, that you guys are providing. So that's what I would say.
Yeah, that reminds me of like every time I'll post like a skit, like low key breaking down my strategy like to the tick, and everyone's like, oh my god, you guys aren't listening, you just gave away like what people charge $5,000 for free. And then it's like people responding under, which is like so truthful. It's like, yeah, 99% of people will hear this and like not take action or try to apply it. Like, it'll just fly right over their head. And I always thought that was like super funny, because it really doesn't matter if you hand someone the exact resources they need to become profitable, to change their life. Like, genuinely,
they're not taking action, bro. It's like there's nothing.
There's nothing there. So,
dude, in terms of your time commitment, can you run me through like what you're doing in your day-to-day life, just like a daily routine that you think turned you to the profitable trader you are now?
Trading wise, or just everything?
Just everything, bro. Like day-to-day life. Like outside of the charts, in the charts.
Okay, yeah. So for sure, I mean, I'll take it through, as I've been doing this the entire time. So it's pretty much this. And there's one thing that I struggle with the most, that I'm sure most people watching this, and even you guys at the beginning, probably struggle with too. It's waking up on time for the market and being prepared before hopping on the charts, versus like getting up and literally like running to the computer to make sure you get on before market opens. Like, bro, I remember on all my losing, like the majority of my losing days, even when I am profitable, right? Like currently, it's when I literally get out of my bed, I'm still in my underwear, and I come sit at my computer. I can't even see the charts because I still have like stuff in my eyes from sleeping. Those are the days that I lose the most, bro. Like, when I literally get up and whatever. But the days that I have the best like analysis and the best trades and all this stuff, like coincidentally, is when I'm out of my bed, I've brushed my teeth, I've washed my face, I've, you know, got my coffee, whatever it is, drink my glass of water, and I come in, I sit down at my chair. You know, and I'm ready, and I do my analysis for about 5-10 minutes before market opens. It's not like an hour-long thing. It's 5 to 10 minutes, bro. If you're a good trader, and if you want to actually like not go into analysis paralysis, 5 to 10 minutes is all you need before the market opens, right? Then when the market does open, I'm like, okay, cool. I'm waiting for this setup that I already determined before the market opened that I was going to take. Like, I'm waiting for my bias to play out. So that's the first thing, just trading-wise. Then within trading, it's like, okay, cool. I'm going to take one setup today. I'm going to take one setup today. I don't care if I lose. I don't care if I win. I'm going to take one setup, and I'm going to get off my computer. I need to close my tabs, everything. Immediately after, I'll open up my journal, write down my trade. I'm not necessarily, for me, I don't necessarily journal like my confluences in the trade, because I already know what they are before I've taken it. But what I do journal is, hey, I took a win, I feel this way about it, and this is what I'm going to do throughout the rest of my day. First, or I took a loss, this is how I feel about it. Usually I'm not too happy about it, right? So I'm going to journal that out. I'm going to write out, okay, cool, I don't really feel that great about this, I lost, but I can still make the rest of this day like a winning day, right? It doesn't have to just be a green P&L to be a winning day. So I'm going to journal that out, and then, you know, if I've already brushed my teeth, if I'm not sleeping before I get on the charts, then I've already brushed my teeth and I get up. Or if I'm, you know, in the summer, it's warm outside, I'll go outside. I'm religious, so I obviously read my Bible and things like that on a daily basis, do my daily devotional, say my prayers, and then it's to the gym, man, to the gym and breakfast, all that stuff. Like, starting early in the morning, like trading, if anything, like helps me, just because like I'm already up early. I know that if I didn't do trading, I probably would not be waking up as early as I am, right? Like, I'd probably be waking up at like 11 and then starting my day and being up way too late, right? For trading, trading, I'm forced to be up early, so I might as well get a jump start on my day, and going to the gym and, you know, building my own business that I build right now, right? Like, it's all a process, and it does take like commitment on a day-to-day basis. So it's like, for me, even if I lose at trading, even if I blow my accounts, no matter what happens in trading, I still need to make sure the rest of my day is productive, because at the end of the day, trading isn't going to be my entire life. It's a big part of it, but it's not my entire life, right? So going to the gym, you know, being, you know, well yoked in my faith and all that stuff is like still super important to me. So I'm making sure that I have those daily actions every single day, regardless of what happens on the chart. So that's kind of what I would say my morning and like daily routine would be.
Yeah, I always tell people, like, you need a winning system outside of the charts. Like, I say it every single day. I'm like, bro, if you guys can't build discipline in your routine that's not related to trading, then, you know, it's going to translate over to when you trade. Like, you're going to be someone who's undisciplined, who doesn't have structure, who can't, like, you know, take a trade and not feel emotionally overwhelmed by the shifting P&L and everything. Like, you need to build routine in life to literally remain disciplined, and, you know, that'll translate directly to the charts. I always tell I made it a rule for myself, honestly, nowadays, where if I'm not up at least an hour before the market, I fully won't trade. Like, I will just feel way too, like, much brain fog to even trade. And just like you said, those days where I'm half asleep and I decide to trade are almost always those losing days. Your psyche is bad because you're not level-headed whatsoever. And I don't know if you remember when you were like in the Discord and stuff, like I would always send out like pictures of me just like sunbathing on my balcony an hour before market open. I'm like, guys, just stare into the sun, do your daily affirmations, tell yourself, I'm happy, I'm rich, I'm successful, I'm profitable, I'm patient. Like, remind yourself of these traits that you want to have before you go into the market, so you actually are level-headed and you're not gonna, you know, fall into those bad habits easier. So yeah. I think that's so important. I try to preach that so much, but it flies over everyone's head. Like, I hope, if anything, people are listening to your routine more than almost anything in this podcast. How you're saying, I'm waking up early, bro, I'm fucking brushing my teeth, doing this and that, and then after I trade, regardless of win or loss, you're still following your system. You're going to the gym, you're reading your Bible, you're doing everything that you need to do, because like you said, a red day doesn't mean it's a losing day, and you know, it can still be a winning day as long as you keep your routine going and everything. And yeah, the losses are part of the game. But if you're going to be losing because you're half asleep and you're just being non-disciplined and stuff, you know, that's a different story.
Yeah. I remember, dude, I would always let losses like affect my whole entire day, bro. Like, if I take one loss, like, I wouldn't even like go to the gym. I would just be like so bummed about it. But the times where you actually just journal your trade after, right? And if it's a loss, you look at your rules and you say, did I follow my rules? Okay, if you followed your rules, then that's a win, right? And that's how you kind of have to start tricking your brain into thinking and start trading like a robot, and you move on. Like, one loss is really nothing in a fucking, you know, a month of trading, a year of trading, and that statistic is going to eventually balance out. But yeah, bro, that's a fire routine. I hope everyone like listens to that and takes that into account.
Yeah, that reminds me, I wanted to ask you, I mean, you said you've been doing this now for a while, like this routine that you have, but I guess, you know, since you became consistently profitable and saw, you know, made a lot of money and had all these things change in your life, you know, what was like the biggest thing that really changed in your life? How did it improve most throughout all these achievements? Anything that you can really name off the top of your head? It's like pretty significant.
I mean, obviously, like, the materialistic stuff is all cool. That's obviously the first thing that everybody kind of goes for, right? The car. I'm gonna be moving to the city soon, so I'm gonna have like a nicer place, right? Moving out of the parents' house, right? So, I mean, that's all like cool stuff, right? But like, at the end of the day, to be honest, like, what really like fulfills me about trading, and this has always been my goal, just with not even just trading, but just money in general, is like providing for the people that I care about. I said it earlier too, but like, when I go out with my friends and I hang out with my friends, like, I'm paying. When I go out and I do things like with my family, like, it's nice to be able to pay. It's nice to be able to like have the freedom to be able to, you know, use what I've, you know, gained, right? And obviously I give all the glory to God, right? But it's nice to be able to use that blessing that I have to be able to share that with other people. And that's honestly where a lot of my motivation does come from, through trading and just like online business in general. Like, that is just how I feel. And honestly, like, that's been the biggest blessing, like being able to buy like this year and like this full, because it's been 11 months, right? But this full year of like Christmas, birthdays, like all this stuff, like I'm able to actually give cool gifts and not feel like shit about like, oh damn, like I want to get like my mom some cool thing, right? But I gotta buy her like some shitty ass like chocolate from the store again, like I always do, like every other year. Like, it's like, okay, cool, I can actually give my mom like a gift that she's gonna actually like enjoy. And obviously it's my mom, right? So she doesn't care what it is, but in my heart I feel good about like giving her a nicer gift, right? Or, you know, being able to take my dad out to dinner and all that kind of stuff. You know what I mean? Like that's what's fulfilling for me, and that's the biggest thing that's changed. So
yeah, that's awesome. That's awesome. I mean, there's actually truly no better feeling than being able to share your wealth like people that you love. Like for example, not recently, but back in January, we all went to where did I go ski?
Dolomites?
No.
Oh, Chamonix.
No, before Europe.
Oh, bro, Miami. We went skiing in Miami, bro.
Are you being for real right now? Anyways, I went on a ski trip with my family, whatever, and it was like my dad's plan. He had planned it a couple months back, whatever, and he just wanted the whole family to go skiing together and all this. And so I guess towards the end of the trip, my brother, obviously, he does well for himself too with social media, and we thought, for like the last dinner and everything, why don't we just pay back the entire trip for my dad and stuff? And so me and my brother just like paid back the whole trip that my dad brought us on, and that like something like that is like,
that's the best feeling.
oh my god, you know what I mean? It's like fuck, like I just want to give back to you, like, but I'm forever indebted like towards the people that I love and care about, no matter whether they supported me financially or just were there as a friend. Like I will always feel forever indebted towards people like that, and will always share like all my accomplishments with them. So that's definitely the best feeling.
I guess going back to like the community and stuff, what surprised you about joining? And also, were you kind of like suss out at the beginning of like joining someone's like community that had like, I guess, some signals, or they did live trading? Because I feel like for a lot of people, they're always scared to like take that leap of like, oh my God, but this is like $100 that I'm paying for. Like, what if I don't get my money back? So what surprised you about PB Premium?
Honestly, the biggest thing that surprised me is just like, I feel like, because when I joined, it was obviously when you guys did the back testing sessions and all that kind of stuff, and there was a lot of value in there, 100%, and I know there still is, right? Obviously I haven't been in there for a while, but yeah. I mean, there's a bunch of value, a lot of support. You guys obviously, like you said, you send out like the good habits that you guys have, right? And to try to show that this is the habits of a profitable trader, right? Even for people who are unprofitable. I think that's huge, and the system is huge as well. I think the biggest thing that helped me within the community was actually like other traders in there being able to like help me out too, because it's not just like you guys are busy, right? So you guys obviously provide as much value as you possibly can, but the reality is like having other profitable traders in the community to support you is a huge thing as well. I don't know if he'll ever do an interview because he's kind of anonymous, but Trin was like my boy back then. Yeah. Like we were like this, always texting, always talking through PB, and I got his number through the Discord, and then it was just like, man, like texting back and forth, and he really is like another big part of my journey as well, just like another trader in the community who has the same goals as me, also trying to rip payouts as well, and also in the same community as I was with PB. So honestly, just like the community in general, like the support system from other traders was huge.
I've also made honestly so many like friends through the PB community. It's crazy. I think half the people I text are just the people who started off as like Discord members in there, and now we're just all fucking boys, which is awesome.
Yeah. If you guys don't know Trin, he was on the Top Step leaderboard. I think he was like 7th for most payouts from Top Step. He's a fucking killer, dude.
Yeah.
So that's so sick that you guys were able to connect like that.
He kind of trades his own way, but he ended up, he was still always in the Discord because he loved like the backtesting sessions, also the psych talks.
Yeah.
He honestly just loved hearing Blake and I yap.
That's part of the too.
But yeah, I mean, sometimes that's really what you need, bro. Like trading is a lonely skill, like it's a lonely thing to do, and it's nice to have other people who are equally ambitious, like-minded, and just want to make some shit that you're passionate about also work. So like that's why I always say like I'm so grateful for Blake, because without Blake, who knows if I would have even traded whatsoever, but it would have just seemed so boring and so like dull. But I'd hop on FaceTime with him every single morning and we just trade together and yap about life, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Not even like what trade are you taking or this and that, but it's more so just like, yeah, like this PA looks clean, probably looking for this. Yo, how's that girl you're talking to? Whatever. It's just like so random.
Just waiting for the setup.
Yeah, just waiting for the setup. And then like out of nowhere, Blake would be like, you didn't catch that, right? And I'm like, oh, nice. So you took a short. Awesome. That's cool.
Peak time.
Yeah, damn. That was a life for sure. But yeah, I mean, also a little bit more about the server. I mean, it's like you said, bro, at the end of the day, it's up to the individual if they really want to put the work in. Like, we have over 1,000 hours of recordings, backtesting sessions, charting sessions, our models broken down like that. There's so much information in there, and people just love to overlook it and be like, oh, let me just get a handout from like signals and be spoon-fed for the rest of my life. And it's like, dude, that's not the way. Like, dependency has to be one of the worst traits you can have in trading. You know what I mean? We're here to teach you to become self-sufficient, not to become dependent on us.
Exactly. I think everything we laid out in this were like the reason I started it was so you can build self-sufficiency. And like you, bro, you were there for 2 months, you got what you needed, and then you got the fuck out. And you were fucking in there grinding every single day. I saw your name in chat every single day.
Every single day, bro.
You would DM us like every day, bro. And then I finally saw that testimonial, and you spread your wings, bro, and you flew away.
Fuck, now I want to check like my messages with Bob.
Yeah. But yeah, dude, I think that's like the whole goal. I mean, we also do like the live trading shit, but the main reason like I started that was just so you guys can see like my thought process when I'm going into a trade. Also my thought process after, right? How do you handle a loss? I feel like that's such a common problem with so many people. And you'll see me take a loss and I'll run through, the things I did right, things I did wrong.
Sometimes you didn't do anything wrong at all.
Exactly. And then it's just you followed your rules and that's it. Do you think that was helpful though, like watching someone live trade? Or do you think it kind of hurt you a little bit because you were, looking at someone else's signals
Right. I think in the beginning for me, it was nice because obviously I didn't have the entry model. So I was like, okay, cool. Like this is the entry model. This is it playing out in front of me. Blake's taking XYZ and this is like, helping me kind of form my system, right? That helped me as far as just like seeing it play out. Like you said, like just watching somebody do something the right way, like in front of you. That was definitely helpful. But like it was like to a certain point to where like, a couple months in, I would hop on live trading, but like I wouldn't even have your guys' chart on my thing. I would literally like have the tab like minimized or whatever. I would hear it, but I would never like look at your guys' chart. And like the month of October when I did my most payouts, it wasn't because, I was like, oh, awesome. Like Blake and Patty had a great month for signals, like that's how I had my best month ever. It was like, okay, bro, like I hear what they're saying, right? And it's like, okay, cool. I take my own trade. It's based on their entry model. It's based on the system that I've kind of, picked up from them. And then now I'm using it on my own to have my own conviction because, bro, like, and even when I like used to live trade like in my stuff, like I hate that. I hate it so much. I hate like signals and all that kind of stuff. Like I would rather like be self-sufficient and like anybody that wants to learn how to trade, like don't start off with only a signal service. Like use it as a community to help you learn. Don't use it as like, okay, cool, I'm going to hop on and whatever they take, I'm going to take it, because you're in 6 months, you're going to know the same exact amount on trading. And then if let's say your signal service is great and you get your payouts from the signal service, that's awesome. But like at the end of the day, your brain 6 months ago for trading and your brain now for trading are the exact same. You haven't made any actual progress besides just, okay, cool, I pressed the button at the same time they did. You know what I mean? Like, so 100%, the live trading helped in the first month, but like I didn't use that as like a, okay, cool, now every single day I'm going to be, taking that trade.
We always tell people it's weird because obviously it's a big incentive to join, but the way I always try to tell people, it's like we're not live trading so you guys can copy our trades. Blake and I live trade so you can see how you're supposed to handle your emotions, how we manage our positions, and how we see the market, right? So you can see the setup present itself in front of your eyes. But like once you really can visually understand what's happening and psychologically like see how Blake and I handle things, at that point it's like you shouldn't be watching that because it might fuck up your conviction a bit. It might throw you off. You know what I mean? You know the system, you know how the game goes, you know how you're supposed to trust the system and not let your emotions get to you. Cool. Now it's your time. Now it's your turn to really apply that every single day and start building that psych and building that trust with the model. So
that's cool, bro, because also, I mean, I remember I was in TJR's Discord too. I remember at first, I think like everyone was like at the start, and I was there for a month. I got what I got what I needed to get, and I got the fuck out. And I built my model personally off of just back testing every single day. I would be like locked in on FX replay. And so for like the MEC model, the MEC model, and it's just targeting like unfilled, unmitigated gaps, right? And I remember I would always just be like waiting for price to retrace, I guess, into a gap. And instead I was just like, how about I just like target this, right? And that's kind of how I found my edge, was just by backtesting and just by looking at kind of other people's strategies and piecing it together. I know that you don't trade like the exact same as us, right? Like I see you sometimes trade like Asia session, for example, or like pre-market. And that's just something that I personally don't do. So how did you like develop your own edge and not just like, take our signals or some shit.
I mean, honestly, like it just comes with time in the market too. Like I tell everybody, like the reason why you invest into a mentorship is for someone else's market experience. And the only way that you can develop your own is like by just actually having the experience, because you can backtest 1,000 different setups, but like it's going to be different when it actually plays out in front of you, when you win and when you lose. So like for me, trading Asia session, it's still like, even for me now, like I'm still forward testing Asia session. Majority of the time when I'm trading Asia, I'm trading an eval or I'm trading a paper. I'm just literally trying to see if the system that I'm trying to build is actually working live in front of me. You know what I mean? So, and for the model that I trade, it's similar to your guys's, but like even like what you said, right? Like I've found my own edge using, SMTs and things like that, like incorporating different things to give me a higher win rate for like what I see in the market, right? Because your guys' win rate for your model, if I traded the exact same thing, maybe I would see it differently, and I'm still not going to take the exact same setup as you guys are, even if I'm trading the same model, right? Because I don't have my own conviction for it. So for me, it was like building my own model using like certain confluences from like different like models, right? Like I'll use stuff from TJR, I'll use stuff from you guys, I'll use stuff from like all different places, but then I've combined it all into a system that makes sense for me, and now I'm able to use that to trade, and it makes trading so much more simple. Like when people throw out like all these big words and all these different like terms for trading, like it's so stupid, man. It's like get a retracement, get a rejection, get an SMT, confirm that it's going to flip or whatever it is, and just catch a 1 to 2. Like that's like how I trade, and it's super simple, and it's like a good enough win rate to where I'm like, okay, cool. Like I can take this month over month, year over year, and be profitable. So that's kind of how I see it.
It's really all about just grabbing the pieces of information that make most sense for you and then readapting it into your own.
Dude, I think so many people always think they're gonna get like handheld to like getting the same conviction that we have, but it's just like it's never gonna be like that. Like you have to put in the hours, you have to put in the time, you have to put in the work, you have to put in the back testing hours, and that screen time that you got from like Asia session, that's how you built your model. Was literally just screen time, hours and hours and hours. And that's just not something that we can, just give to you just by, that's what you have to do. You have to fucking take action, which is what so many people like think that, oh, just because like I joined this Discord, I'm going to like get handheld to profitability. Like you can to a certain extent, but that screen time, that conviction comes from screen time.
Yeah. I mean, even Blake and I, like there's slight discretions between the way we trade.
Yeah.
I will say 90 or 80, maybe not, maybe like 70-80% of the time it's the exact same trade, but there's certain times where like we see very different things, however using the exact same like knowledge, concepts, and information, you know what I mean? Which is why, I mean, like there's like the PDI model and there's the MEC model. That was like something that I've started to notice a lot in the markets with the lower time frame AMDs, manipulating it to key levels and then taking inversions out of that. And I was like, okay, this is something that I really like, and like I love this, and it's played off of Blake's model, and you know what I mean? Like that's how it goes, bro. You sort of just start building something that is already viable, but making it more you. And that's really what trading is. Like I always say, there's no best strategy at the end of the day. The best strategy is the one that makes most sense to you, whatever you can put together and just absolutely have full conviction in. That is the best strategy.
100%.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, like all the best traders that I've talked to, right? Like I've never talked to a really, really good trader and had them be like, yeah, I trade Blake's mech model, and not like it's like a bad model, right? But it's like, yeah, I'm a good trader because I trade someone else's model. Like they're like, no, I made my own model like based on different confluences, and now I use it because it makes the most sense to me. You know what I mean? Blake is going to be the best trader of Blake's mech model. You know what I mean? Yeah. You're going to be the best trader of the PDI model. And like that, you guys are literally a testimonial to the fact that you don't have to trade someone else's model to be successful, right? You can take pieces from it, but like the only thing that's going to make sense is like what you actually see day to day, right? So you guys, even trading different models, bro, like you guys literally are on call every single day trading, but you trade different models. So it's like, yeah, 100%.
Dude, like, bro, we have so many friends that just like trade different things. Like, Tori trades. She trades trend lines, bro. That's just how she sees the market, and it makes sense to her. The reason we trade, the mech models, because it just makes sense in my head.
Yeah,
so that's what
I have friends who trade fucking supply and demand, and they make a lot of money.
Yeah, bro.
At the end of the day, it really just comes down to whatever you like, I guess.
And it's like every time you try to switch, you always get fucked. Every single time. Like every time it's like, man, this guy makes a lot of money trading. Maybe I might have to switch to what he does. And then it's like, okay, it works a couple of times. And as soon as you try learning it, it's the whole thing. You start again at being unprofitable again. It's like, damn, like I just need to stick to what I know and trade that, right? So
cool. Well, on to the next question here. If someone's like on the fence of working with Blake and I, what would you tell them?
First, it would be about realistically, what are you on the fence about, right? Is it a financial thing? Is it just like I'm nervous because I've never done this process before or anything like that? And what I would say is honestly, like, what is your end goal? What are you trying to get out of this process, right? Because not every single person who comes to you guys is gonna, have success, right? That's just the reality of it. And it's not always gonna be because of the system. It's gonna be because of them, right? So first, look internally and be like, what am I trying to get out of this process? Am I trying to, the common goal for everybody is 10K month, right? I want to hit my first 10K month. I want to become profitable. I want to get my first payout, whatever it is. What is your goal? Who are you learning from? And what steps is it going to take to get to that goal, right? You're learning from two people who have made multiple 5 figures in a month trading. So you know that they have the proof. And now it's just going to be about, okay, cool. What do I need to do to actually make that happen for me? I should probably listen to the people who are doing better than me, who know what they're doing, to actually make that happen, right? And if it's a financial thing, realistically, what is it going to be? Like, is this life-changing money? Like, is this going to be like, oh, you're never going to be able to have that money again, right? Like, you took a risk, and now instead of, okay, well, it's a 1.5K at my job in the month again, that's going to suck, right? Like, why don't you just, like, lock in and just, like, take that risk, and that's like, okay, cool. What's the worst that's going to happen, bro? Like, realistically, what's the worst that's going to happen? Like, that's how I see it.
It's crazy because most people can justify spending, let's say, like $100 on, like, let's say for, like, PB premium, right? Instead of like joining the community and learning all these things, to them they can justify buying like a designer shirt more. You know what I'm saying?
Bro, they'll justify paying for a college tuition when this is like the same exact thing, dude. You're paying for your tuition to learn something, to learn a life-changing skill that will pay you forever for the rest of your life.
Yeah. People don't break it down on like a cost basis. Like, there are people who pay for a gen ed class that's like $3K, and it's like, look at the average mentorship. It's probably about $3K. Yeah. Like, you're going to pay for a math class for $3K, or like your parents are going to pay for it. So like, you can justify your parents paying for a math class, right? But you can't even justify, like, let's say it's your parents paying for the same thing. You can't justify your parents paying for like a system to learn like an online skill. Like, I don't know, man. Especially a skill like trading, where it's like, you're literally paying to learn how to make the amount of money that you invested for a monthly process, like a few month process, to make that same amount of money in a singular day. That's what you're investing into, right? You're not like, okay, cool. Like, and it's hard. I know it's hard to justify it for people who haven't seen like the other side of it, right? Because, not to be like shitty, right? I'm very grateful, but like 3K now versus 3K a year ago is a very different like feeling in my mind. You know what I mean? So like, you have to actually like take the big step, invest. It's gonna suck. It sucks dumping money. I even hate dumping money now, but it's like, it's not dumping it when you're investing into like something that's going to get you to a point to where that number for a few months is now going to be like a single day of work, right? Like, that's how I see it.
Dude, it's the same as going to the gym. Like, if you invest in a nice gym, you're going to want to go to the gym more. You're going to most likely show up more. Like, sometimes it does take like a financial commitment to tell yourself, okay, let me take this seriously now. You know what I mean? Because I've made a commitment. But I mean, it's different for everyone. I just always thought about, it's sort of like a gym membership or something like that.
Dude, I just think the ROI on trading, like, is ridiculous. $100 and bro's buying an M4, like, what?
Bro got a 9,000X on his.
Bro.
900X or some shit. But yeah, dude, that's awesome. So yeah, I mean, bro, like, people just need to take action. So like, Bada, like, why should someone listening act right now?
Yeah.
Because to be honest, bro, if you're a man and you don't have, $1,000 to your name right now, or you don't have whatever, or you're not even going to be like within the 6-figure earners, like, not to be shitty, bro, but come on, like, everyone wants to complain about the economy. Things are expensive. Ooh. Well, why don't you go and like make a change on your end instead of complaining about external factors all the time, bro? Like, that shit's like so stupid, bro. Like, you're a man. You should have the drive to go out and get what you want and like actually act and do it, instead of like, okay, I'm just going to pay the $100 a month and like sit in there and then complain when like it doesn't work and I've blown my top step eval again because Blake had an L signal today. It's all Blake's fault. It's not my fault for being lazy as fuck. Like, go and lock in. Stop whining all the time. Like, it's so stupid. Like, you are literally your own problem and you want to blame other people for yourself. Like, so stupid. Just take the risk. Actually go out and do it. Like, come on, man. It's really not that much money in the grand scheme of things. How many $100 are you going to see? How many $1,000 are you going to see in your entire lifetime? Probably a lot less if you don't invest into a mentorship, right? So think about it like that. That's kind of how I see it.
I mean, also, bro, it's just like I was making a video about this, where it's like people are just so scared of failing or something going wrong. But it's like, aren't you more scared of just being fucking 40 years old and you wasted, you know, your entire life sitting at a desk job, bro, taking orders from like a boss all day? Like, that's something you should be more scared of. You are the youngest you'll ever be right now. Like, if you're gonna take risk, it is now. If you're gonna take a chance on something, it's now. Just, bro, take the leap of faith with something. If there's something you're passionate about, invest in it. Invest time, invest money, and invest all your energy into learning it, because that's the only way you're going to find out if something will work. Like, you have to be 100% committed. So yeah, I mean, anything else you'd like to say for the viewers?
It's worth it. Lock in. Your bloodline's counting on you. If you can't even do it, if you can't even do it for them, then you might as well just give up now, bro. I mean, I will go thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars into debt before I go back to that 2.5K a month job. I don't care, man. I need to make it work. I tried. I tried. I had the breakthrough, and now I'm a 19-year-old making multiple six figures a year. When at my graduation party a year ago, people were telling me, "Oh, you're gonna do trading? Fuck you, bro. I made it work." That's what I have to say.
Let's fucking
Give it up for Bada, everyone. Give it up. Everyone sitting at home, clap for him.
Yes, sir.
Thank you,
Awesome, bro. Well, I mean, we'll wrap it up there. That was definitely a saucy 53 minutes of just sauce. But yeah, guys, that's a nice little podcast interview with Bada, who was previously one of our students, and you know, he turned his life fucking 180 degrees or 360. What is it?
360.
I don't fucking know. No, if you 360.
Oh yeah, that's the same place. That's why it's
180. Yeah. So if he can do it, you can do it. If we could do it, if we did it, so could you. You get what I'm trying to say. But you got to take action, and that's what matters.
Take action, boys. Also, Bala, if you want to plug your socials, if you guys want to go follow him.
Yeah, we'll put them in the description too.
Yeah, it's just my first name _ last name, Riley _ Botha. So you guys will see me ripping, and yeah, same exact thing.
Is it Botha?
Yeah, Botha.
Oh fuck!
You couldn't have corrected us
when
the first time.
Dude, everybody has a different way of saying it, but if I say Botha, then people like to say both of these nuts. So yeah, there's that.
All right, boys. Well, thank you so much for watching this podcast interview, and we'll catch you guys.
Peace out, guys.